All right, so you want a little story? I'll give you a story. Wow, maybe I celebrated a little bit too premature. We actually might get acquired. I'm like, this is not a good sign. The DocuSign never came. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? Happy Monday and welcome back to another week in the life, what I do every single day as a recruiter, running my own agency in the technology industry. If you're new here, welcome. Been doing this for almost about 8-9 years. And the whole purpose of the video is to take you along for the ride and show you all the crazy situations that us recruiters find ourselves into every single day behind the scenes, whether it's great, whether it's painful, or challenging. So we got a lot going on this week. Had a jam-packed weekend, so feeling a little bit tired, but drinking my tea and my water, staying hydrated, and going to do whatever we can to make this week awesome. But if you are as excited as I am to end September off on a great note, to cruise into Q4 with tremendous momentum, don't forget to support a fellow recruiter and give us a like, subscribe, click that bell. Really means a lot. Let's get started. Okay, a couple big announcements. Number one, we realize that a lot of you who are watching are not yet subscribed. So again, it would mean the whole world. Give us the energy and focus to make these videos and do the best that we can. If you just take one literally millisecond and click that subscribe button, it will really mean a lot. Second announcement is that as of this month moving forward, I will do my best to allocate a certain amount of time every single week for those that are either independent recruiters, that are starting to be independent recruiters, or recruiters that just want to up their game. So if you want to do a deep dive coaching and consulting call with me, I only do a couple spots per week. Please reach out to me directly here on LinkedIn or Instagram, or even comment down below, and we can obviously chat further. Again, as you can see, I'm not a full-time content creator, I'm a full-time recruiter, so my time is super limited. So just want to make sure that we can make some time and work with people who are really serious on 10xing their results or 10xing their recruiting career. The third announcement is, don't forget, as always, feel free to join our free Discord channel down below. It's honestly a great opportunity for you to surround yourself with like-minded individuals, completely free. The link's down below. It's a great way to also keep in touch with me, ask questions, and to just collaborate with other recruiters out there who want nothing more than to help everyone else do well and collaborate and win together. So it's a really cool place. And so you make sure you check that out. And last but not least, we have also launched our brand new podcast. It's on a brand new YouTube channel. It's called the Kickstart Podcast, where we interview and deep dive with amazing founders and professionals out there, filled with a lot of amazing stories, insightful nuggets. So don't forget to check that out. And yeah, let's get started. All right, so you want a little story? I'll give you a story. So last week, we've been having a lot of back and forth with one of our software engineers getting closer to the offer stage with our hospitality tech startup based out of New York, moved to California. It's for a fully remote software engineer. Anyway, this engineer has been slowly doing well, going through the process. We get to the offer round. The candidate remains excited. The founder remains excited. The candidate also shared with me that he's in process with 2 other companies, possible offers with other companies. So I'm just doing my best to kind of be the middleman and keep both sides engaged, but particularly trying to do my best to follow up with my founder, my client, be like, hey, can you please talk to the candidate, because we can't let the candidate be hanging around at this late in stage. When he was supposed to have a conversation, he kept pushing that back because I think he had some family personal issues, which is understandable, but then that doesn't make the situation with the candidate any easier because he's kind of stuck in limbo. And then we finally got him on the phone together on last Wednesday, where the founder was able to give my candidate a verbal offer, which is obviously the step forward in the right direction. And then he said that he was going to follow up with my candidate with the official offer letter. Well, Wednesday came and went, Thursday came and went, no official offer letter. I pinged them, and then Friday morning, I pinged my founder saying, hey, what is going on? Like, can you please move forward and send the official offer letter? And then my client tells me, he's like, hey, Preston, like, I think we actually might get acquired. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what does this mean for my candidate? I'm like, that's great news for you and your team, but what does this mean for my candidate? We've been stuck in limbo for over a week because we kept pushing it back, because you were negotiating on salary, and then there were family issues. And then for some reason, you're not sending the official offer because you're getting acquired. And he's like, look, we really like your candidate. We really want to move forward with your candidate, but we want to make sure that first of all, are we going to take this? Or we're not going to take it. But if we're going to take the acquisition offer, we need to know that our team is secure. We can still hire people, or if there's going to be a clause in the contract that we can't hire anyone. And so I'm like, wow, like this totally, it's understandable, not ideal. So I'm like, what's the timeline? He's like, I'm going to figure this out later today. Just give me like several hours. So that was how I left it on Friday. And Friday morning came, went, early afternoon, 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., heard nothing. And then I finally get a text from my founder saying, hey, we're all good, want to move forward with my candidate. Can you let the candidate know? But we also just need to revise the start date. I'm like, hey, that's great, but you need to reach out to the candidate directly, because at this final stage now, he needs to hear from the founder directly that everything's okay and that you want to move forward, because there are small red flags that are popping up in the back of his head. He's wondering, like, why is this taking so long? I got a verbal, where's my official offer letter? And I can't hold off my other offers with these other companies forever. And so every time there is some sort of resistance or it doesn't just go smoothly, like the candidates can get more and more worried. I'm like, you have to nip it at the bud and just hear from him directly. And so he finally listened. He reached out to my candidate on Friday and saying, hey, we want to move forward. We want to do start date November 11th. Can you confirm? The candidate responds saying, yes, November 11th, great. And then my founder told my candidate, great, we'll send you DocuSign to execute. And at that point, I thought it was done. The DocuSign was sent. And then just as a formality and a follow-up, Monday morning, I emailed my candidate saying, hey, I'm excited. We're able to sign the DocuSign. And then he said, Preston, the DocuSign never came. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? And so here we go again. Now, 2 weeks later, this is not done, and it should have been done a week and a half ago. I followed up with my founder once this morning, another time at noon, haven't heard back from him. I hope it's not bad news, but it's just been a struggle and it's not a good experience. To give you pre-context, like I kind of struggled even deciding whether or not I want to engage with my client, because we didn't really have the best relationship in the past. Like he would pay us late. I would have to follow up with him. He would never give us feedback in a timely manner. Like it was always just so much work to get things done. But he told me that, hey, like we're gonna make sure the payments go on time, and I'm gonna do and make an effort so that our working relationship just operates more smooth. And it was just great. I was willing to give him a chance because we did have a lot of history together. So I'm like, you know what, fine. Like let's just see how it goes. And then we're in the situation. Like he found a candidate through us, another one, an engineer, and he loves him. And my candidate loves him too. But we're struggling to close because the founder is taking his time. So I hope that I get back, or I hear back from the founder soon, because if not, it could be a worrisome situation where I might lose this offer. And if you've been watching for some time, you know that in recruiting, nothing's a guarantee. Just because a candidate accepts a verbal, a candidate signs an official offer, anything can happen between signing to the candidate actually officially starting. Rescinding offers, ghosting, getting another offer. Like we just can't, we have to minimize all these other scenarios from happening. And the way to do that is for us to move forward in a clockwork manner so that everything nuts and bolts are just screwed tightly, and it just happens very efficiently, and it's just not the case right now. So I need to hear back from my founder. That's priority number one. Priority number two is we are making a lot of good progress on our head of engineering. This is with the same client that we had two offers of two different candidates, and it didn't happen for a variety of reasons. And so trying to make the third luck is a charm type of cliche come true. So if I can get this done, this would be a giant deal. It could make this September to be an amazing month. And I'm hoping if we can close that, and maybe this outstanding software engineer deal that's like lingering, it would be an amazing, amazing month. Enough of hoping, more just planning and being proactive and seeing what we can do to kind of close this out. But been talking to a lot of great candidates today, have about 5 more candidates, speaking to a new client in about an hour in the Web3 space, looking to possibly bring on a PM, product manager, even a product designer, maybe some engineers. It's going to be an awesome potential client. So got to get my pitch ready, got to do my research, and just make sure that we just nail it, and hoping to convert them to a recruiting client. That'd be awesome. And then got 2 exciting new podcasts this week, maybe a third, and then just a ton of calls, and just making sure that we just do really, really well this week in September to just create that momentum that we always strive to do. So we'll see what happens, and I will keep you updated, but fingers crossed. Hello, it is Monday about 4 p.m. Just giving you a quick update. Was able to talk to a brand new potential client in the Web3 space, looking for a product designer and a front-end engineer. Was able to talk to their people, head of people and ops, was able to kind of share with them who we are, what we can offer and bring to the table, learn more about them, talk about the positions, talk about the terms of our engagement. I sent them the agreement and let's just see what happens. I think there's hopefully a good chance that they'll work with us. She was really cool. I personally love Web3, so having a chance to work with other Web3 companies is super, super cool. I also heard back from one of our clients with the head of engineering candidate. So our head of engineering, one of our candidates had a second round with the head of ops. Seemed like that went well, but my head of engineering candidate also has another offer with another similar startup that just gave him a verbal today. So I pinged the founder and I'm like, hey, can we move fast? Can we accelerate? And he said that he's gonna sync back up with his head of ops to see if the call went really, really well and to see what we can do. And so I know that if this doesn't work out, I hope it does. But if it doesn't, we have a couple other plan B, plan C, plan D candidates that we actually sent today that are just really awesome. And they're not in another process or late in stages of other companies. So we're looking pretty good there. That would be absolutely incredible if we can kind of move forward on that. I still have not heard back also from my hospitality tech client about the DocuSign, like what is going on, and he needs to move forward and he just needs to think about the candidate experience and make it number one. And so it's almost end of day and I'm shocked I haven't heard back from him. So it's just, I don't know what to do. I also got pinged by one of our other healthcare startups that need to wrap up their search for like strategy, business oriented candidates, and the founder wants to chat with me maybe tomorrow or Wednesday, which is obviously great. We placed someone before with a similar profile, so it'd be great to kind of get another deal in here before the year's out. So things are getting really, really busy, and I've been really focusing on engineers and design talent today, and just doing what I can to do my best. And again, just feeling it today, like really, really tired. I think we had way too much fun over the weekend. If you're wondering, it was what us Koreans call Chuseok, which is basically the Thanksgiving for Korea, and was able to just eat a lot. And so I think my body's feeling it right now, but nothing that a lot of water and tea and maybe a little caffeine won't help. So gonna still do my best to kind of hydrate and keep it going. But yeah, I think just to finish off this day, I've got to do more engineering sourcing, coordinating, hear from my clients, and then shoot a couple videos. And then tomorrow I got a podcast, Wednesday we got a podcast, and it's just so far going really, really well. So let's just keep it going and we'll keep you updated. Hello. It is Wednesday morning and I got a little update for you. So do you remember that story where my poor candidate is stuck in limbo? He went through the offer, took a while to even get a verbal offer, and then the founder promised last week that we're gonna send you an official offer Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, nothing. And then I pinged the founder again, and the founder said on Friday, I'm gonna go ahead and send you DocuSign. And I thought I ended that week with, hey, it's great. And then on Monday, I followed up with the candidate saying, hey, did you get a DocuSign? And the candidate said no. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? I text the founder all day Monday, nothing. I'm like, this is not a good sign. I text the founder all day Tuesday, nothing, until like late in the evening where the founder texts back saying, hey, I'm at a conference. I'm like, what could be more important than maintaining a really good candidate experience and just sending the DocuSign, which only spends 30 seconds to send out, and closing the process for the candidate who's been stuck in limbo for a week and a half? Like, what could be more important than that? Especially the founder of a small company, reputation and press and just PR is super important, and you don't want to create a bad apple or create like someone who's just angry at you for the smallest of reasons, which is like you just kept them hanging and they're still, for some reason, after all this time, still engaged and excited about you, and they're just waiting and waiting and waiting. And the longer that they wait, the more like questions and red flags pop up in the back of their head. And so he's like, wow, okay. Well, so the founder got back to me, he's like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and send the DocuSign. I'm like, please just let me know when it's out. Monday night comes and goes. I feel a little bit better because I actually heard back from the founder. Tuesday morning comes and goes. The candidate says that he hasn't received anything. Tuesday afternoon, yesterday, my client said, okay, I finally sent out the DocuSign, which is great. I text the candidate or emailed them on Tuesday yesterday saying, hey, please let me know if you receive it, and please let me know if you sign it. Hear nothing back. I followed up with the client this morning, the founder, and he's like, hey, I sent it out yesterday. And I responded saying, hey, please let me know if the candidate sent it back. And then I didn't hear anything for a couple hours. It's already 10:30 when I'm shooting this right now. The client just texted me saying, hey, he's starting officially on November 1st. Thank you, which basically means the candidate signed it, but I still haven't heard anything back from the candidate. So I emailed the candidate saying, hey, just please want to do a courtesy follow-up and just please let me know if you signed it, everything's okay. So I think we're like 98% there, but man, it's been like a painful and long, unnecessarily long process where the founder, if he was able to actually close the candidate, he created unnecessary difficult situations, giving the candidate out if you wanted to out. Like he had multiple offers on the table. He still ranked my founder and my client number one. And despite all the shenanigans he had to go through the past week and a half, apparently he's signed. So I'm not going to celebrate yet. I need to hear confirmation from the candidate directly. But still, at least it's like a positive feedback that we're going in the right direction. So, oh my goodness. I mean, I was celebrating last week and now I came into this week saying, wow, maybe I celebrated a little bit too premature and it's not happened yet. And so I think we took 2 steps back, we took 1 step forward. We just need to take 1 more step forward to cross the finish line once we hear back from the candidate. But aside from that, it's been a really good week so far. It's been a really good morning so far. I had about 8 candidate calls, catching up with another client at 2 hours from now to pick up a new job. We're talking to potentially a new client in 2 p.m. today to hopefully pick up more engineers, which is obviously great. And we're waiting on an exciting Web3 to send back our official agreement. So even despite the recession, this comes to show that companies are still hiring, companies are still willing to spend on great tools and resources to help build a pipeline. And all we have to do is just make the promise that we're just gonna try our best. And regardless of market conditions, we're gonna just drive the best results that we can. Full stop. That's all we can do, and just try our best. And always grateful and practice just gratitude for companies and candidates that are entrusting us to help them make that big decision to hire someone or to find another job that they're really excited about. So far it's been a good week. Feeling a little bit tired today, don't know why, but just overall it's been a beautiful day outside, got a lot going on, and just happy that we are experiencing momentum. But my full priority right now is to just make sure I hear back from the candidate, and I will let you know as soon as that happens because we are almost there, so I can stop worrying about this and focus on other things coming in. It's 11:30 and guess what? We just heard back from the candidate. Candidate has signed it. Candidate has agreed on official start. Signed, sealed, delivered. Done. Don't even have to think about it. And now shifting focus to the next one. Grateful that we were able to make it done. It was certainly an emotional, psychological roller coaster. Certainly adding another placement to this month, which could be gigantic. So I think the biggest placement for me that I'm focusing on is the head of engineering. If I can close that this month, that would be absolutely insane. It could potentially break my personal record of placements in 1 month, but we'll continue on with our day. 12:30 on a Wednesday, just got off an amazing Zoom call with one of my old clients looking for actually a high-level strategy and ops position. Again, this is not something that we totally specialize in, but I love strategy, I love ops. Almost considered a career in management consulting back in the day. And this is actually a position that we worked with before in the past. And so it's the same profile. They just need someone a little bit more senior, ideally coming out of consumer facing or marketplace companies. And the salary, I think all in cash, we're looking at maybe 200s, low 200s, plus equity, we're looking at 300. So it can definitely be a great position to add to the bag. So if we can just make some good progress here, send some good people over, and then, still work on this head of engineering, that's my focus for this month. So let's make it happen. Hello. It is Thursday afternoon. Got some good news. We actually heard back from one of our early stage founder clients that he likes one of our head of engineering candidates a lot, which is amazing. We failed the previous 2. There's 2 other candidates in the past that had offers and didn't work out, which was a bummer. Maybe this could be the 3rd. And this guy's awesome, coming out of some of the best, most well-known companies out there. He was initially looking for 300K, but after talking to him, after pitching our roles, he was able to kind of be a little bit more flexible to about the 250, which is on the top end, but still within the range for my client. When I first heard back from my candidate, I let my client know. My client's like, wow, this person's background's amazing, But then I told him he's looking for 300. My founder's like, no, deal breaker, not gonna happen. And then when I told him, hey, I spoke with him, he's excited, he's willing to be flexed to 250, then my founder was like, yes, we'd love to talk to him. They had an amazing first round phone call, and now the founder wants to sync up his head of ops and other people with the candidate as soon as possible. I need to sync up with the candidate myself just to make sure that we maintain really good relationships throughout. But this is music for my ears. This is obviously great news. Things are happening really, really well. I just now need to kind of make sure if my candidate's really, really genuinely excited or if there are any red flags. So he's just kind of going with the motions and he's not really that serious, but he's just kind of intrigued. So, it just kind of goes to show like what recruiters actually do. It's very easy to kind of just work off the resume saying, hey, here's someone, they're looking for 200, client says reject, and you're like, oh, okay, forget about it, next candidate. But it really comes down to like relationships, how well you pitch your opportunities to the candidates, because if a candidate is intrigued, of course, everyone has like a rough range they're kind of targeting, but even with the rough range or the ideal salary, there's always, a certain wiggle room, even for candidates, depending on how excited they are, depending on how robust the equity is or the benefits or their scope or a combination of all of the above. And so this is why it's really important to talk to your candidates, but also to kind of get them excited about your client and be like, okay, well, with that in mind, like, would you be open to this salary? Because if what you're looking for 300, that's just not going to happen. You're probably better off just looking at bigger companies. But if you're open to kind of talking to a seed level company that's under 10 people, most companies at that size and age, because of like the funding that they have, are not going to be able to go close to 300, let alone 200. So the fact that my client can go between the 2 to 250, which is amazing, it separates them from other people. But then I also really use that as an important fact to share with my candidates, saying, hey, this is what they can offer. I know it's a little bit of a step back, but not that much of a step back. But salary can change very quickly upon fast growth, but you also get that tons of single digit equity on the back end. So I was able to really paint the picture, and that's what recruiters do. We paint the picture really, really well, not only about the client to the candidate, but also about the candidate to the client. You don't just submit a resume, you're like, hey, you want to talk to this person because X, Y, and Z. You want to go to bat for the candidate. You want to maximize the chance of framing their background in the best way possible so the candidate gets really excited about them enough that they want to interview them. So it's very, very important. And this is why I firmly believe that recruiting is a sales job. You're constantly getting people excited about the job. You're kind of getting people excited about the talent. And this is where I think one of the biggest value adds recruiters can do for both stakeholders. I think if you approach a candidate like, I've worked with recruiters before in the past, had a bad experience, don't want to work with recruiters ever again, there's chances are that they probably experienced little or to no value added, maybe negative working with recruiters, and that they'd rather just work through their own network or other platforms out there. But if you can make your value add really, really clear and you make it to the point to the candidate, we are in your corner, we will go to bat for you, but you are also at the same time saying the same thing to the client, saying, hey, we're gonna make you sound like the most exciting company on planet Earth. That is the biggest value add, or one of the biggest values that we can give to the stakeholders that we work with as recruiters, as middlemen. It is our obligation to be as objective as possible, even though we're biased towards our client. But ultimately, we want what our client wants. We want what our candidate wants. We want a candidate to find a job they're excited about. And we want a client to find a candidate they're excited about. And you can only really do that if you go after the appropriate talent and you don't over-exaggerate and you don't lie and you don't manipulate and force. That's how it seems like if you watch my videos. If we go to upper stage, the conversion rate is pretty high, even though there are things happening like counter offers, candidates ghosting, clients ended up rejecting. That happens to everyone, but I'm not perfect. I'm always trying to be better. But I realize if we can just make sure that whatever we do, we act with an objective to waste people's times in the least amount of way possible. We want to mitigate that situation. And the only way to do that is to be transparent and honest, but also just excite people, genuinely with the facts, not with exaggerated facts or lies. Then I think that's where you can kind of get responsive faster from both sides, and then hopefully start an interview process, work throughout the interview process, and then hopefully get an offer that's signed, sealed, and delivered. So that's my biggest advice for you all, and I hope that helps. But it's really, really good news, and we'll see where this will take us, but I will not put all my eggs in this basket. I will continue to do whatever I can to find new candidates, to advocate so we have plan B, plan C, just in case if this doesn't work out, we're not starting from zero. Hello, good morning. It is Friday, finishing off the week strong and feeling really, really good. You know, if you've been watching for a long time, I like to really push on Fridays. A lot of people like to push on Monday. I like to push on Friday because if you push on Friday, you know you'll have a good Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If you push on Monday, you might have an okay Monday, maybe a decent Tuesday, and then really momentum is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the weekend. So for me, just love to do what I can to end the week off strong, make sure we plan ahead for the following week. So far, everything's going well. I got a call from my founder, excited about the head of engineering. He's like, hey, I love your candidate, but he has not confirmed with my head of ops for a second interview. He's like, what's going on? So then I called my candidate. Everything's going well, but he's just super, super, super busy. He's managing like 3-4 different teams. So it's really, really important, you know, when it comes to behind the scenes coordinating, just to make sure like we can do whatever we can so that the process is moving forward. I know with founders or hiring managers, if they feel like they're not getting as response or they're not getting a response as fast as like they expect, it could be like a red flag, and that can totally be valid, but it can also be just very unnecessary and just making more drama up than it needs to. So what we do is we just need to make sure where, as middlemen, we go back to the candidate, go back to the source and figure out where is it. So thankfully, it's not that big of a deal. I think right now, the candidate genuinely is really busy. He has a lot on his plate. He just wants to make sure that he has really good time to schedule a second round before he does it. I think that makes sense. And I think if you were in his shoes, you'd kind of understand that too. Talking to a lot of great candidates today, we picked up a head of strategy and ops role. So if you are in strategy and ops, you worked at really great marketplace platforms, consumer-facing platforms, you even had a background in management consulting or investment banking, like reach out to me, and you're in the New York area, reach out to me. We're doing a very, very targeted confidential search for one of our clients. Obviously, because it's senior, it's confidential, it's not anywhere online. We are their main partner for this role. We've done a couple profiles for this role, for this company, but more junior level. So we already know the profile for this, and just obviously now targeting more senior people. They could probably go low twos on cash. I think with equity, you're looking at, you know, mid to high threes, and they're a Series B company, so there's still a lot of room for growth. So equity, what that quantifies to, or the salary today, that's subject to change, obviously, as the team and company continues to grow. So if you know anyone else, reach out. I'm gonna be speaking with a bunch of candidates today, possibly waiting on 2 clients that are reviewing our agreement, as they just have to sign it and send it back, and then our level of work goes from here to here. I always like to just really put our best foot forward and really perform and give the best first impression for new clients that we work with, because that just really cements the foundation for our relationship, not just short term, but also long term as well. And you know, we also know that if we were to engage anyone on a contingency, most likely they would have worked with or are currently working with other recruiters. So we just want to come in with a bang, literally, and just try to come in with really strong candidates, amazing communication, great cadence, establishing like, hey, like we're the only recruiting partner that you need, and kind of let's ride the sunset together and let's build your team. So it's really, really important, especially in the beginning when, you know, they have question marks, they've never worked with you before, that you just put your best foot forward, you do whatever you can. So a lot of times when I get a new job for a new client, that's when I would work probably the hardest to make sure that like we make a huge effort and the candidates that we send are just spot on. So just waiting on that, but I still am super, super busy right now. But as soon as that happens, I won't just be busy, I'll be stressed. But we'll see what happens. It's only 11. I think later today, talking to mainly just great candidates, checking in with clients, and just waiting for 2 clients, one in the crypto space, one in like a really cool B2C kind of engineering construction space, to get going. So it's going to be really, really cool, setting ourselves up for a great next week, and I'll just keep you updated. But really, really happy that we were able to lock in that software engineering role. Tons of drama. It took way longer than expected, but now signed, sealed, and delivered. We still have 2 full weeks left in September. Can I do one more? And if I can just do this head of engineering role, that could just be a monster month on my own desk and just taking along for the ride. So psychologically, emotionally, I'm feeling pretty good. Let's just keep on going. Hello. Happy Friday again. Everything's going really well. What I did want to share with you is I just had a wonderful Zoom call with someone who was interested in working together with me on a coaching one-to-one basis, which is really, really cool because this is something that I'm trying to do my best and allocate a certain amount of time per month or per week in helping people who are just really, really serious get their business to the next level, just optimize or audit things that they're struggling with. And whether you're, an independent recruiter, you have a small team, you have a job and you're struggling, this is just a way for me to kind of go extra yard and just really provide value and help in kind of a one-to-one capacity. So had a wonderful conversation with him. He's from Massachusetts, thinking about starting something and taking it very, very seriously. And so I think this is another great relationship that I can maybe start with. And again, if you might be interested, if you're struggling, you have questions, certainly obviously reach out to me and would love to maybe pencil something in. This is not something that I don't do coaching full-time. I don't content create full-time. I'm a professional recruiter full-time. And so my time is very, very limited and just want to make sure that I can allocate some time to people who are very, very serious in hitting their goals of just getting better or getting out of their struggling kind of situation that they're in right now. So I'm personally excited. I was able to have an amazing session with someone last week. Excited for this person to reach out. And so again, if you need help, you need coaching, you want me to consult, typically I do it by the hour, then please reach out. We'd love to hear from you, and I definitely appreciate your time. So aside from that, we got 4 more calls to do, and then gonna wrap up this weekend, but so far everything's going okay. Have not heard back from the new clients yet, hoping they get back soon, fingers crossed. Happy Friday, late afternoon, and I think this is a good time to thank you again for watching another Week in the Life. It's always a pleasure, it's always a lot of fun, take you along what I do every single day as a recruiter, all the ups and downs and crazy situation that I find myself into in the technology industry. I'm happy to say we were able to end this week with a software engineering placement. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And it'd be absolutely incredible to see where we end this month. So make sure you watch future videos to see what happens. Can we break our personal record in the middle of a recession? Like, that would be amazing, and I'd be super grateful and very, very crazy. But I just do want to also remind you that it's not all about the money. Money is a reflection of the value that we provide to all the stakeholders that we work, and I'm always grateful for the candidates and clients that entrust us to play a small role in helping them find their dream job or helping them find a rock star of a talent to join their team. It's not the easiest profession. It requires a lot of hard work. I try to show as much as I can on the camera, but there's so much behind the scenes you don't see, and you don't see like the sleepless nights and just the hardness and struggles and psychological, emotional turmoil, depression, and you just got to make sure you take care of yourself as well. It applies to recruiting, but anything else out there. But I'm happy to say that it's Friday. I'm feeling really, really good. Looking forward to the weekend. We have a couple new clients we're looking forward to rocking off or kicking off sometime next week. If you like this and you have any other questions, please comment down below. Also, reach out to me on Instagram or even our free Discord channel. It's a great place to surround yourself with other like-minded individuals, and I try my best to be as active there as possible. Don't forget to also check out our new podcast channel where we really do deep dives with amazing founders and professionals that are building amazing careers and teams, filled with a lot of insightful nuggets and value. And most importantly, now moving forward, if you are serious and you want to invest in your career, invest in starting a successful business, and you really just want to have a deep one-on-one relationship with me, I'm starting to do my best and just offer a very limited number of coaching calls per week and per month to those that just want to level up and accelerate their launch of a business or ramp up or 10x their goals as much as I can help you. So I'm very, very excited for those. I know it's a new thing, but I've been doing this now for quite some time. The people that I've spoken with, they're already crushing it. And some are just going off into the sunset better than me. So I'm very, very excited to see them and looking forward to hopefully meeting some of you who are interested. But with that said, I just want to thank you again. It's been a good week so far, just constantly watching the markets. It's a tough, tough time to be working for yourself or just have a job. It's tough and scary. There's a lot of fear in general. All I ask is just do best to stay positive, have a smile, and just know that if you try your best, then things generally should be okay. So grateful for you all, for your time. I definitely appreciate that. And feel free to also support a fellow recruiter. Give us a like, subscribe, click that bell. It really means a lot, and we will keep these videos going. So hope you enjoyed another week in the life, and we'll see you on the next one.